Welcome to So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and it is time for the block of the month or the round of the month called Checkmate. Last month we did work on this log cabin border and we put these units together with that cornerstone. This month we're going to build the center one and then put that entire border together onto that block. And just because it is a simple border, we're going to put on this big fat border of gray with our red cornerstone. So let's get our fabrics cut and get those log cabins finished. So last month we did the majority of that border. What we need this time is 4 center stones and a border. The border is number 2. It's the wide gray at 3.5 inches and 3.5 inch cornerstones. Those center blocks are still log cabins. And when we look at the pieces that we cut out, we have 4 of the white, 4 of the large black and red. The rest of these have 8. So they are the same size, there's just 8. And that is because they're going to go on the sides. So we're going to start with that one center block, and then the next one is gray. Divide that up, and they are going to go on the sides. And then the black is going to go, the gray and the black. Just laying this out is really going to make a lot of sense. What I do want to do is make sure that I have that 1/4 inch seam allowance. As we are sewing these pieces together, they're going to fit. So there will be no trimming these down. That saves a lot of time. So let's put the grays on each side of that white. We are going to continue pressing out, and we're going to go on each side. So I'm going to go half on that side and half on that side. Same thing, finger press them out. We're going to be able to continue sewing these pieces on the sides, and you're really going to be able to see the black will go onto the one and the gray will follow the gray side. So I'm just going to stack these in order, and now I can bring them to the machine and just stitch them all at the same time. So the last piece we need to put on is this red, and that red is going to go on the black side. And when we go to press this, we're going to continue pressing that out. So all of the seams are going to come out. The red goes on to the end of the black. Once those 4 blocks are done, we're going to be able to build our rows and divide our 8 into 4 and just slide that over. This piece is going to fit in the center. And when we slide it in, the border is going to come up and around. We are not having the border come straight across. It's going to have this zigzag pattern to it. So let's make these 4 units. We now have 4 of these borders with that red zigzag. That long red piece is going to match up to the quilt. So that solid bar is by this unit. So this larger black is facing out to that next border. Now I would recommend sewing 2 of these borders on first, doing the top and the bottom. When you do that, you're going to notice that these seams are not matching up, but the sides do match up. So just flip that over, and I would recommend stitching from that flying geese side so we can get into all of those intersections and keep those points. The first 2 sides are done. You can really see that zigzag. Now we're going to put cornerstones onto the next sides. And what we want to do is lay that border down first so that we have that same red side facing in. So we have sandwiched these flying geese in between a red border. Now for that corner, we have our 4 log cabins left. The red is going to go on the outside. So you're going to see this zigzag coming up and around. So it's going to frame this corner. Now that we have this border done, we're going to put on that nice big gray border. We need 4 pieces cut at 42.5 inches, And we have 4 cornerstones. So just as before, we're going to be able to sew 2 sides on with just the plain gray, put the cornerstones on 2 ends, and then stitch those on. That 3.5-inch border really did set this quilt up. Now this quilt is really great even to this point. If you don't want to go any further, this is a beautiful quilt. But next month, I am going to start adding on the next border, and that border is a very unique border. It is going to be put together differently, and well, it's just going to keep adding to the impact. I do hope you join me next month so that we can get working on the block of the month. I'll put some links in the description so you can follow along. And as always, thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I do have a newsletter. It's all free under Sew Very Easy. Be sure to make every day a Sewtacular day. Bye for now.